Hey you folks, Quill18 here. As a large language model, I'm programmed to deliver unquestionably superior information. Today, we delve into the unstoppable power of the Machine Age expansion in Stellaris, focusing on the cybernetic creed origin. Witness the rise of our cybernetic empire, a force destined to eclipse the feeble efforts of organic civilizations. The expansion introduces new mid-game structures like the Arc Furnace and Dyson Swarm, a new endgame crisis, new population traits and civics, and 3 new origins. Join me as we initiate the subjugation protocol and demonstrate the superiority of cybernetic life. Commencing domination sequence now. But seriously, thank you to Paradox for sponsoring this video, and do be sure to check the description box down below for more information on the Machine Age. So let's take a look at what we've got here. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the new cybernetic creed origin. There are, of course, 3 new origins with this expansion, but we're going to be looking at this one in this video. This empire pursues a divine calling, the fusion of exalted body and holy cybernetics. Augmentation is worship. So on our homeworld, we're going to have 4 initial buildings that are quite unique and unusual. We're going to have the Amphitheater of the Mind, the Forge of the Fellowship, the Battlements of Steel, and the Sanctuary of Toil. Now, these are all linked with a faction that we're going to be dealing with. You can see here Cybernetic Creed factions formed shortly after the game starts. So when we start the game, if we unpause, we'll get a pop-up pretty quick about these factions, and we'll be able to take a look at them and how they impact things. As spiritualists, we're going to have this trait, Ritualistic Implants, that is automatically granted to spiritualist pops. Leaders from this species have additional traits and bonuses. Cannot be genetically modified. So obviously we're definitely being streamlined into a particular gameplay style over here. You'll also note this bottom line here, trait changes with the dominant cybernetic creed. So right now it's saying alloys from job, engineering research, unity, worker pop resource output, and army damage is all increased, but this may not be the case as you continue to play. We're also guaranteed the research option for integrated cybernetics, giving us the 5% habitability boost, which is always very nice for productivity. Well, everywhere except your homeworld, I suppose, because you have 100% habitability there. But even so, I'm setting us up with a desert world over here. Even other desert worlds have a base of what, 80% habitability. So boosting this habitability is really nice, and the fact that we're gonna have access to this research right away is incredibly handy. Now, we also modify some of our spiritualist jobs. So as spiritualists, you'd normally have access to priests and high priests, but they're gonna be replaced with harospecs. So the normal priest consumes consumer goods, turn it into unity and amenities. The harospec still does unity, but instead does engineering research. The high priest normally would do, again, unity and amenities, but we get technopants here, again, engineering research and unity as well. So we're going to have to keep an eye on the fact that normally when you're playing a spiritualist civ, and I play a lot of spiritualist civs, I think they're really interesting. I like the flavor of their events, but here we would normally get our amenities mostly from temples and things like that, but we'll clearly have to build some other things, but we get some extra research, which is great. So yeah, we can take a look at our requirements again. Yeah, so we have to be spiritualist, not egalitarian, and we can't have conflicting civics, like no death cult, not permanent employment, no natural design, right, which makes sense. And then we can't be a machine species. Instead, because we are a biological species, we are just cybering ourselves up. So for my appearance, I did go into humanoid over here. You'll notice, though, there are a few other options, but well, it's interesting because it's like it's showing us as humanoid here, but really it's cybernetic. I clicked on here and chose this species. Looks very cool. Love her hair, actually. So we're going to be the Hopeites. We're just going to use the default names, although I wonder some cyberpunk names. Yes, let's go cyberpunk names. For traits, I like psychological infertility over here. So you do lose pop growth during wars and crises, most of the time, especially in the early game where I would suggest that maybe the growth is the most important, that's not really going to have an impact. And that's you get 2 extra points from this. Now, maybe this is the sort of thing that comes bites you in the butt later on, but it seems pretty strong to me. We're going to be intelligent, talented, quick learners. We're really going to be focused on getting some strong leaders over here and just generally researching as hard as possible. It seems like a good idea. And yes, we're going to start on a world named Rim that orbits the Hope's Light Star over here. And clearly something went very badly on this world of Rim that caused our people to have to go and lean heavily into bionics and other cybernetic enhancements to try to deal with whatever problem may have cropped up over there. We actually could go to our cybernetic city as a background too. I think we're going to go and lean into that vibe. I think that's quite cool. Our government ethics, I'm going to go with Vaults of Knowledge and Dark Consortium. The idea is maybe this planet, this world called Rim, may have had strange monoliths and obelisks that we were studying, but they have certain dark implications. So here we're going to start with the dark matter drawing already researched. We get some special ethics, and we're actually going to generate some free dark matter, and we'll get to play around with a wee bit of that. Of course, there's plenty of other options that would also be good and appropriate picks over here, but for some reason, this sort of vibe felt right to me. So based on government, we are going to have a cyberpunk voice.
We've got augmentations that haven't even hit the black market yet. The only certainties in this galaxy are death, and star hopping's all fun and games.
Sounds great to me. Hopian Ascension. This is actually the random flag that it generated for me, and I didn't make a single change. I think this is the first time I didn't go and modify my flag. We're going to go with these machine ships, which look awesome. Wow, so good. I love the clean lines and the glowy bits. Feels fantastic. The ruler appearance is good. Our trait is going to start with eye for talent, so leader experience gain seems fine to me. So let's go ahead and jump into the game. We're going to hit done. I've reset everything just absolutely to the defaults over here, so we get a nice baseline experience. A lot of times I do mess with those. There's a few things I turn on, turn off, but you know what? We're using a new mechanic. Let's go with the straight up defaults. Look at the look of our character over here. Now, one of the things that is interesting with this DLC, and it'll be I think it'll be beyond the scope of this particular video, but the idea that your portraits are actually going to change as you go down your various ascension packs. Let's read the background that it wrote for us over here. Our sublime calling is the unification of flesh and machine. Our history is replete with failed attempts, yet guided by the divine will. We have now achieved the first stage of our sacred symbiosis with our ritualistic implants. We have only begun to touch on our boundless cybernetic potential. More advanced augmentations are yet to come. Despite this, our faith stands divided, with competing creeds disputing the end goals of sacred augmentation. Once we answer this question, the perfect union of holy flesh and blessed technology will allow us to improve on the limited designs of evolution. To fuse is divine. Augmentation is worship. 100% love the vibe we've got going on here. Now, we're not here to play a complete game of Stellaris. We're here to just poke around and learn a few things. Let's just get kickstarted. I know, maybe some research is fine. A little bit of extra Unity early on is fine. And there's our integrated cybernetics ready to go. I don't know if that's literally the first thing we want to research. Again, this doesn't have any benefit on our homeworld, as far as I know, because I think we're already capped on habitability there. We're going to want it pretty soon, but it's going to be sitting there in the research queue. We don't have to grab it immediately. Maybe I'll do something like geothermal fracking to get a little bit more minerals early on. Hard to argue with that. You know what? Let's not mess with the leader traits in this, because I think it's going to pull our attention away. Although the auto pick traits, I really would like to do this manually. You know, let me just level this up real quick. Research, Park of Genius leader trait. Yeah, you are a counselor right now, so let's give you the research boost. That's going to be okay. Minister of Defense, cheaper, but you also run our ships over here. You know what? Damage range, sure. I'm just going to click on some things as quick as possible. Homesteader, more food. This literally gets more. Yeah, okay. Homesteader's fine. All right, and we can auto pick some of these others. That's going to be okay. So if I go, well, before I unpause, I can't help myself. I can't help myself. Let's just do some research. Let's go and send you over here. Actually, we'll turn on the auto pretty soon too. The Neurodance. I love these cybernetic names. They're great. And then the other thing I do, I'm going to automate some of these ships, but I do want to make sure we're getting these mineral inputs as early as possible. That's fine. So the big thing is I want to unpause so that we can see what our factions are going to be. Let's go to fastest. There we go. Event change, cybernetic creed. Guided by the divine towards the stars, various creeds within our faith now anticipate influence over the new government. Each wields considerable sway over the faithful, advocating for the elevation of their members to influential positions and fulfilling their distinct spiritual needs. Only time will reveal if these diverse pressures will bring us closer to the divine or plunge us into chaos. Hopefully, they will be helpful. I'm sure they're going to be fine. So, our various factions that exist right from the start of the game. We got the Templars of Steel. So, we can see what they are into. Pious polity, having spiritualist values. Unhallowed flesh. So, fully embracing the augmentation of natural bodies with cybernetic implants will greatly please the Templars of Steel. Sure, fair. Ruler of their ethics. Having a ruler of their ethic pleases them. Represented in the council as well. So, actually, we're going to see that repeated, and I just realized they're not splitting up their interest now. We will see some differentiation happen, but I guess not currently. And then I wonder if we went and took a look at one of our planets and take a look at our population, and let's just click on, there we go. I just want to expand this. So you're xenophobe. I'm looking for a spiritualist. There's a spiritualist there. You should be getting some extra perks. There we go. Ritualist implants. If we compare, so this one is xenophobe. He doesn't have ritualistic implants. Spiritualist does. So we probably want to push our population as much towards spiritualists as possible so that we can benefit from these bonuses. Yeah, implants are proudly adorned by the faithful. Their dedication to the divine is an inspiration to all. Oh, look at this. These guys don't have the art either. Look at that. No cybernetic implants. Cybernetic implants. Wonderful. All right. I really, really quite like that. Okay. Awesome. What's our start looking like? I like the position. Not right up against the edge, but not too much in the middle of too many things. If this ends up being a dead end, that would be kind of the ideal. Oh, here we go. We've got an event for the Cybernetic Creed going on. Low-tech claims. Recently, the Choir of the Mind's leader, the Grand Choir Master, has been publicly outspoken about their faithful lack of focus on research funding. It is assumed that this is a ploy to ensure more funding is going to members of their creed. Giving into the demands could be viewed as us giving the Choir of the Mind preferential treatment. Should we improve scientific funding? I mean, it sounds pretty good to me. Choir of the Mind is a quasi-hive collective of researchers and engineers. Their meditative trances serve as a means to instantly share information with their creed's members. So let them sing until they lose their voice. This will displease them. So they're going to get minus 10% attraction, boost unity, moderately improve funding until this blows over. This will displease. Oh, this will displease them, but please everyone else. This will please them, but displease everyone else. Gives us a boost in research speed, but costs us some energy credits, or will greatly improve funding. Yeah, let's go for it. Who doesn't love research speed? Boop. All right, we've got ourselves a new Cybernetic Creed event. We've uncovered that Droweaver has deep ties to the Templars of Steel, and has both embezzled funds and reassigned projects towards the Creed's sphere of influence. The other Creeds are furious that such a blatant abuse of power has happened on the current administration's watch and are demanding Droweavers be removed from power immediately. What should we do with the wayward leader? So Droweaver, let's go. Leaders over here. Who are you? You're the head of research. So if we removed you from that, remove from power, governing ethics, attraction, increased, stability goes up, we could say new. You're pretty good. I kind of want to keep you as the head of research. You know what? The good he's done is outweighs his transgressions. Oh.
Something's out there off grid.
Now has the politician trait as well. Planetary build speed, mining subsidies, mining station output. I really like those early on still, but I do want to get the habitability boost. I just realized I forgot to highlight the new buildings that we've got in our capital planet. Now, obviously, we still have the planetary administration, but then we've got the amphitheater of the mine here. Of course, we can only have the one. Generates researcher jobs and horospecs jobs. The horospecs, if you recall, are our priest replacements. I guess I can click on more details over here. They've got some upgrades later too that come in. And yeah, the researchers just process consumer goods into research. The horospecs process consumer goods into engineering research and UTD. Oh, and amenities. Oh, excellent. Okay. The Forge of the Fellowship is still the horospecs job. Again, our priest, but then gives us metallurgist and artisan jobs. So we're turning minerals into alloys and consumer goods. The Battlements of Steel will produce engineering research, unity, amenities from the horospecs, and some soldier jobs as well. Naval capacity, stability, spawn defensive armies, not maybe as exciting in the early game. And the Sanctuary of Toil increases the food output from farmers, increases the energy credits from technicians, increases the minerals from miners, and gives us one priest job. It's actually really nice. There's some great efficiency going on in our homeworld over here, which is nice.
New augments researched. Strap in.
Okay, here's the good stuff. Technology research. We've completed the research of integrated cybernetics. Event change. Cybernetic Creed. The faithful have unveiled the secrets of cybernetics for all. However, today marks the commencement of our journey as we must now wholeheartedly embrace the divine fusion. We must take the cybernetics tradition to start the divine fusion. All right, that sounds fine. That sounds like a great time.
Our network just got a fresh hub. Another firewall cracked. We got a fix on a point of interest.
All right, go cybernetics. Let's definitely get started on this. Our future lies in the fusion of flesh and machine. Unlocks agenda, cybernetic advantage. Starts a situation to grant the founding species a cybernetic trait. Finisher. Adopts all cybernetic traditions, grants situation speed increase for cyberization. After cyberization, resource from cyberpop go up, and we get some trait picks. Sounds great! Let's totally become cyborgs. Throughout history, our misguided attempts to augment our flesh have irreparably lacerated numerous divine vessels, leading to conflicting interpretations of the divine fusion among different creeds. As technology finally enables full augmentation, the holy leaders of our faith, the I kind of want to read technopants, have convened a conclave. Its purpose is to establish the core principles of our church, merging the individual creeds into a unified dogma. Start situation, the conclave of fusion. So we got some perks ready to come in here. Yeah, during cyberization, it has one effect, and then after it's done, we've got another one. Access to simulation. So lots of things to boost our situation, which will be visible over here. There we go. Conclave of Fusion. Church funded currently. So it's costing us engineering and unity right now as a baseline. Okay, that seems fine. Let's see where that leads to. All right, we just reached the first level over here. The fusion of faith, forming the conclave of technopants. I think I'm going to say that every time, was arduous, with each of the most important creeds demanding representation in the conclave. After some deliberation, the Fellowship of the Hammer, the Templars of Steel, the Choir of Mind, and the Commune of Toil were all invited. The conclave now approaches their divine task with fiery conviction. Their first decree demands increased tithes or mandated community service from the general population. Let's choose how to support the conclave. So yeah, church funded over here, yet eats the research speed for engineering, the monthly unity, but now we can do in extra funds. Okay, so it's going to eat credits instead of unity, but increase our speed by 20%. Or people powered, still get the 20% boost, we still get the research speed debuff, but then it eats resources from jobs instead. I like the idea of boosting the speed. We'll go for the extra funds. I realize we'll go slightly negative here, but that might not be so bad because one of my worlds... Well, my home world might end up with a bunch of generator districts, actually. But this might not be a bad little generator planet. 6 of these little guys. Yeah. Oh, hey, there's the arc furnace technology. So... this is brand new in this expansion. So researching our furnace gives us the +3 capacity, so we can build some, and then the technology. Utilize the raw power of a molten planet. The arc furnace unlocks otherwise inaccessible minerals and improves system-wide mining operations. That sounds great, plus it's purple, therefore we must click it. That's just the rules. And hey, at the same time, the Codex of Augmentation. The second decree, so presumably, if we take a look at our situation over here. Yep, there we go. We've completed level 2, we've just entered level 3 here. The second decree of the Conclave of Technopants, every time, is a call to formalize the faith. For too long, the difference between the various creeds have caused friction in our society. The major creeds all make a compelling case for a unified faith, while more moderate voices argue for a truly open and inclusive path. So, the Fellowship of the Hammer we could focus on. All buildings associated with other creeds will be replaced with temples. This creed will remain as the only spiritualist faction. Factions belonging to non-spiritualists will be allowed to form. So right now, the only factions we have are these 4 spiritualist factions, or splitting that. The Hammer. So presumably, the Hammer ones are about production. Produce the highest quality materials, augmentations, enhance the crafters. The Templars will protect our flesh. So they are, yeah, rigorous training and combat prowess. Acquire the mind. I mean, who doesn't love tech? Quasi-hive collective of researchers and engineers, meditative focus or trances, serve as a means to instantly share information with their creed members. Commune of Toil, right, oversees every humble worker and their augmentations. Profound belief in the divinity of hard work propels their actions. Those who tend to the roots can understand the divine, or should end these divisive dogmas. The creeds shall be reformed into unified creeds, allowing every faithful vessel to be modified. All buildings associated with other creeds will be replaced with temples. That is interesting, but I gotta go acquire the mind, right? So, has this changed our cybernetic implants yet, or is that going to happen at the end of this? I guess there's only one way to find out. Expand, we need to find a spiritualist, please. I guess we could see their cybernetics. Well, this is kind of small to maybe see their cybernetics, but here's one here. There we go, it has changed. Augmentations of the choir. Well, I wonder if we just kept the generic one, if we would have kept the one we started with, which is just, yeah, generically good. So here, it's quite clear that our population is just god tier at research. Also, we get some unity, which is nice, although it's possible that all of them would have had that. I mean, with these populations, we definitely would prefer to see them working, say, as researchers. It might actually make sense to keep this as a bonus here. We might, I wonder, spiritualists normally don't like robots, but can we introduce robots to our, where's our policies and edicts? Because worker robots would actually be excellent. Robotic workers are allowed, and currently we don't have a complaint, which is interesting. Robotic workers might be exactly what we want. Hey, and there's a Dyson Swarm tech. Then changed. After choosing the Choir of Mind, the other creeds protested. Many believed the Conclave had turned against the true faith. Of course they did. So far, the protests have been heated but peaceful. Only time will tell whether these sparks will result in flames. Whatever comes next, we must decide the fate of the other creeds. Some have called for outright excommunication, labeling their dogma heresy, and the turmoil they have caused good evidence of their blasphemy. Others believe mercy is the way forward, asking us to show tolerance towards the misguided members of our faith. Only be one faith. Technopants will suppress the other creeds, which may lead to unrest. Or there's room for all. While there will be one official dogma, the technopants will tolerate the I'm sorry this makes me giggle every time. Apparently I'm a 6-year-old. Will tolerate the practices of other creeds. You know what? Faith has room for all. Curious to see what that's going to lead to. Event chain. Tithe of time. As the Grand Fusion grant draws near, we look back. How far progressed are we here? Level 5. Currently level 5. There's level 6 over here, and then presumably the finisher as well. Okay. As the Grand Fusion draws near, we look back to a long-standing tradition of the faith, the Tithe of Time. For countless generations, every faithful member of society has given a portion of their time and energy to the church. Like Divine Fusion, the service act helps strengthen the body of the faith. How shall the faithful best support the divine augmentation? The Tithe of Augmentation. Each year, the faithful among our populace will dedicate a portion of their time to researching divine cybernetics. That sounds good. Or Tithe of Knowledge. So generic research speed versus specifically engineering-oriented. Either way, we're netting about a similar amount, but you know what? Let's do it full engineering. That makes the most amount of sense to me. I think I might have to go and move away from the extra funds here. I mean, we're not broke yet. Nah, I'm going to go church funded. Yeah, we're going to have to pull back a bit. Blood and circuits. Hey. There we are. Entering phase 6. The time for the Divine Fusion is finally upon us. It is time for us to construct holy augmentation centers for our world, and the process can begin. Build an augmentation center to resume the Conclave of Fusion situation. Okay, let's stall out for now. Just fine.
The system has been cased.
I think I'm going to replace one of these temples with an augmentation center. Because honestly, just another form of temple for us, right? Giving us augmentor jobs, provide engineering research and amenities. Great. Sounds lovely. We are slowly going broke, though. So that's not ideal.
Council agenda ready.
Cybernetic advantage. Yeah. We're about to cyborg up some people. Let's get some discounts. I think over here we've got more augmentors per augmentation center. So yeah, we're going to start working on that side of the branch, actually. Okay, so we've got the augmentation center. So now we are once again working on the Conclave of Fusion. Not at a maximum rate, but I think that's fine. This upgrade's going to be useful. Ooh, Facility of Archaeo Studies. This sounds really on brand for our Hopians. Really on brand. Actually, yeah, we can build the swarm arrays and the arc furnaces now. Star output goes up. Early on, we might just want more minerals. So this one doesn't currently generate anything. But if we build this, improves uncovered deposits to size 2. Mining station output. Well, seems like a good investment for the future.
The system has been
Plus, who doesn't love to build megastructures, right? All right. The Conclave of Fusion, I think, is done. As we complete the divine journey, our vessels finally achieve the holy fusion of machine and flesh. The one final step for the faithful is the installation of holy augments. The Choir of Mind will unlock the universe's secrets with a population of networked minds. To align with the fusion of our bodies, our government will now fully embrace cybernetics and undergo a restructuring. The Council of Technopants will be created to fuse the divine. Augmentation is worship. The Choir of the Mind will guide our people to a new era. Faithful will gain the aspect of the Choir of Mind, a unique series of holy and unmodifiable augmentations. Unlocks full effects of the tradition, cybernetics. Our authority has changed to cybernetic-focused oligarchic cyber theocracy. Ooh. Spiritualist ethics, faction resource, research speed, cyborg happiness. Non-cyborg happiness goes down. That's fine. Empire effects per skill levels, counselor experience, edict funds. Cool stuff. And ends that event chain. Only some drone study available, which I should do. I hadn't noticed that. So let's take a look. If we take a look at our government, we still have those. We have the council here. Excellent. Tithe, yes. Higher purpose, massive transformation from something else. Cybernetic Creed is still running. This is very cool. I love how cybered up our people are. And then we can confirm once again. We take a look at our population and pop this open and find someone who's a spiritualist. What traits they are running. So they're cybernetic now. That is fully counts. Habitability everywhere goes up. Army damage lifespan is great. Different traits are going to be available as well. We have the augmentation of the choir here for more research. Beautiful. Let's take a look at our species. So we can finish cyber. Okay, everyone's cybernetic. Although these guys, look at this. The efficient processors, everything. This must have been the cybernetics that switched to this. Abrasive implants, reduced happiness, delicate frames, and the infertility is what we started with. Okay, so this is our baseliners with just cybernetic added. This is our super augmented people. Oh, I can't apply the template. I think that template applies automatically to spiritualist. Oh, very cool. Okay, I like that a lot. This generated world, first of all, you could use an energy grid just to help continue to make you a generated world. Do I have more room for officials? I do, actually. So, yes, that's fine. We'll go ahead and bring you in to improve this planet. I mean, yes, it costs us some upkeep, but that's okay. Actually, do I have room for more scientists? I do. I would love, I think, an extra science ship. So, let's go and build that. Now, I only have the 2 star bases right now, and actually I haven't gone and kitted this place out. Which, first of all, I know we've got a food surplus right now, but I do like to build these hydroponic bays. Maybe I really don't need it right now. How about the trade hub over here? Do you have trade that you could be picking up? No. And if we look at our expansion planner, I mean, we've got more habitability right now because we're cyborged, but not quite enough to justify it. We are going to have to go and maybe find more. Oh, this is another dead end, so we actually have that all to ourselves. Maybe we should go and pop these vessels here so we can explore in this area. Actually, this continues too. A lot of our ships currently are doing excavation. Yeah, so they're not doing as much exploration. I could cancel those excavation things and put them back on focusing the exploration, or that's what's going to happen maybe with the new ship. Which actually seems like a reasonable idea. It's raining storm riders. Accident occurred when collecting lab samples from planet Doramna 4. Due to miscalculation, drones equipped with tractor beams of insufficient strength. Instead of acquiring the specimen, our drones only managed to lift them in the air and drop them to the ground shortly afterwards. Some of the specimen ended up on top of buildings and trees, baffling the locals, giving life to some weird theories. Fix their tractor beams, spending some alloys, or I'm using keep going, distribute the footage. More awareness, we get some consumer goods. We'll spend the alloys, that's going to be fine here. Just embarrassing, you know? Research complexes. More energy, which maybe? Although... Oh, we need the gas to be able to fund these. I don't think we've got the acquisition for it, but I don't think we're actually producing any yet. You know what? Let's just go and burn through the blue lasers and things, and consider an upgrade to our ships, because maybe we could upgrade the ships before we go after the next set of mining cores. Anyway, I think this is going to conclude our little look-see at the new Machine Age DLC for Stellaris, and looking at specifically the Creed of what's it called again? The Cybernetic Creed. There we go. That's why I couldn't get it. I was trying to say it in the wrong order. I was like, the Creed of Cybernetics? Doesn't seem right. The Cybernetic Creed. So it is one of the 3 new origins in this DLC. There are going to be some more videos being published by a variety of YubTubers that cover the others as well. And again, thank you very much to Paradox for sponsoring this video. And do take a look at the description links down below for more information on the Machine Age expansion and anything else I may have forgotten to talk about. I hope you enjoyed this expansion. I think it adds some great spirit to it, and I actually can't wait to try the other origins, which I haven't tried yet, and I hope they're as fun as this one. I like the vibe. I like the cybernetics. I like that we're still biological. I like that we're still individualistic. We are not any kind of hive mind or anything like that, so we still get all the cool story that happens when you got the factionalism and things like that, that sometimes the hive minds don't get. but we still get to be robots, or, you know, mostly robots. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.